Every few decades, there's always someone that seems way ahead of their time. Rudolf Steiner was that guy. He wasn't a cult leader or a guru, but he did call himself the scientist of the invisible. And he said something wild, that one day humanity would drown in information and forget the spirit that made us human. This was over 100 years ago, and if you look around now, it's almost creepy how accurate that was. Steiner predicted our modern world back in the 1800s. The algorithms, the soullessness, the emptiness, the overstimulation, and even how a lot of people lack purpose. Steiner was born in 1861 in Austria, and from a young age, this guy wasn't just trying to figure out how things worked, but why they existed in the first place. By 25, he was editing for Goethe's scientific writings and lecturing on philosophy. He got to hang out with geniuses while most people were still trying to figure out their own lives. But here's the thing, Steiner wasn't just academic, he went way deeper. He said that the human being wasn't just flesh and bone, but that we had layers of consciousness. And if we actually trained our awareness, we could evolve them consciously. And just thinking that through, evolving your consciousness like a muscle, that was his whole life's work. The threefold human being. Steiner said that the human being isn't just a body, but that we're body, soul, and spirit. We think, we feel, and we act. When those three get out of sync, life tends to feel mechanical, but when they align, something opens. Awareness stops being a thought and becomes an experience in itself. He called this process conscious evolution, reincarnation, and karma. Steiner took the Eastern idea of karma but gave it logic. He said that karma isn't punishment, it's education. Every lifetime is another class we take until we learn freedom and love. Reincarnation wasn't escape for him, it was responsibility. You come back not to get away from life, but to redeem it. He wrote, "In our karma lives our freedom, through our freedom lives our karma." And the more I sat with that, the more it made sense. The problems repeating in our lives aren't random, they're invitations for us to evolve. The eighth sphere. But Steiner also warned about something darker, the eighth sphere. He said it's a counterfeit world, a place where spirit gets trapped inside imitation reality. At first that sounds insane, but the more you think about it, how much of your life now happens on a screen? How often do we feel real only when someone else is watching? He said technology would eventually mirror the human soul, and if we aren't conscious, we'd start living through the mirror instead of through ourselves. The eighth sphere isn't hell, it's a distraction. Christ as consciousness. Steiner's most radical idea was about Christ. Not the religious image, but the principle behind it. He said Christ represents the higher self, the spark that bridges human and the divine. The crucifixion wasn't about one man dying, it was about the spirit entering matter so that humanity could awaken from within. He said that the second coming wouldn't be in the clouds, but it would happen inside human consciousness. Every time you choose compassion over ego, you bring that force back into the world. Spiritual science. He wasn't asking people to believe him. He wanted people to verify it for themselves. Observe your thoughts like you'd observe a star, silently and patiently. Review your day backwards before you go to sleep. See how your emotions can create patterns. Live each act with full awareness. Even brushing your teeth can be meditation if you're awake inside it. Steiner believed that if people practiced this, society itself would shift. Technology would finally serve spirit, not replace it. One of his biggest impacts was education. He created what's now known as the Waldorf schools, where the focus isn't just memorization, but developing the whole human being, thinking, feeling, and willing. Students learn through art, movement, and imagination, not just textbooks. He also brought his ideas into agriculture through something called biodynamic farming. He believed farms should be treated like organisms, connected to cosmic rhythms and nature cycles, long before organic became mainstream. And then there's the Galtianum, his agriculture masterpiece. It wasn't just a building, but a physical expression of consciousness itself. No straight lines, no rigid structure, everything flowing, almost like a living being. What makes Steiner interesting is that he didn't just talk about the higher conscious, he tried to design a world that reflects it. Thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed. This video could have been 40 minutes long, but I just want to get back into the habit of editing and filming videos again. I also just want to say anthroposophy is next level. If I have to bet my life on anything, it would be anthroposophy. This is the biggest, this is bigger than Bitcoin. This is a bigger call than Bitcoin. Anthroposophy will be next level. So many people will come to this in the future. Anthroposophy single-handedly brought me back to the Bible.